I just wanted what God, whomever God can use, who's gonna, align with his will. And like y'all said, I'm not a fan of either candidate, but if that's what God wants, for us, then that's where I'm at. But I'm neither a fan of either, like y'all stated as well. But spiritually, I'm just where I just want whatever God wants. So
I think it's just because, okay, even with us that just have this conversation now, it's coming across as if the man ain't did nothing for, I'll just say Americans in general, or for Black people when he has. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And if you guys are like, he, gave the HBCUs funding for the next 10 years, you know what I mean?
That's a big deal.
Like, they've been actively getting people out of prison. You know what I mean? Like, I forget the name of the thing, but you know what I'm saying?
You got my boy Ben Carson as I think the housing leading the housing development or something like that.
Opportunity zones and stuff like that. I'm sitting here like, shoot, as a business owner, I'm trying to figure out how I can get into some of that. Like, I wouldn't mind, getting a building somewhere. Like, I need some of that, So I'm just like, why are we sitting here? And like you said too, Rashawn, it's like, the man was all this and that before. Then all of a sudden now he become president. Now y'all want to down everything about the man or whatever the case is. All I'm saying is, I just feel like, again, but this goes back to the media. This goes back to the news and the narrative they're pushing out to people, and that people are just eating up for whatever reason. And it's just like, but when you hear about the plans of the alternative that have not, I would say, not much to do with God. You know what I'm saying? It's just
not
like
nothing.
Not nothing to do with God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's gonna benefit us down the line? Like, can we get 4 more years of grace versus 4 years of whatever they trying to? I mean, because from what I'm hearing, it's taking away a lot of the parents' rights, is what I'm hearing from the alternative. In regards to what we can teach our children and everything like that, and
the government.
Yeah.
Right, and stuff like that. And I'm saying, like, or I mean, probably our rights in general. Now that's another thing people will talk about. Like, I guess who would want to vote for more taxes or whatever. People are talking about that part of things too. I mean, I guess I haven't thought that much about all of that, but I just was like,
And Black people,
I don't hear no part.
I was saying, as Black people, we're usually like conservative. So it's just funny to me that we're siding with someone that's definitely against, like, as a whole, our type of views. The only thing they're going off of, let's just say, oh, Trump is racist. Well, did you watch the whole video, or did they show you a clip?
Context.
Oh, you watched that 10-second clip.
Nope.
Oh, okay. So that's where you get it from. Did you read anything? Oh no, I seen a clip on the Shade Room, or I seen a clip on over here, and I read the comments. It's literally they, even the average person. I mean, people who have degrees, who I've had conversations with, who do not thoroughly do their research or read or know what's actually going on. They literally go off, headlines and clips of CNN or whatever, Fox or whatever biased media, as you stated, Miracle, that they listen to.
And I think that's probably like the sad thing of everything, because I ain't gonna lie, like maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just maybe I'm getting caught up in it, whatever the case is. But I just feel like even when it comes to the celebrities or whatever like that, I just feel like, okay, if y'all have these huge platforms and y'all have all these people following you all, and you guys are pushing this narrative, I can't follow you no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, because you've seen some of them be like, oh, if you vote for that person, they just unfollow me. And it's like, yo, like, by all means, you know what I mean? Because it's like the stuff you're going along with it. You're going along with the alternative of what's going to benefit me and my family, like what's going to eventually affect me and my family. You know what I'm saying? Because we already saw people getting sued and stuff like that if they didn't put certain narratives or do certain things with their business. When it comes to I don't know. I just feel like there's just going to be a lot of legislation and stuff that these people are bringing to the table that's going to affect us down the line, and people aren't thinking about that.
Some
or
people
people
can't
are.
see that far though. Like some people are just real, like they're nearsighted. It's like they can only see what's in front of them. They can't see like a mile or 10 miles down the road, nor do they care to. They're concerned about what, like right now, what I see right in front of me. So it's kind of like to me, this showed me like how people really are sheep, how gullible and naive, and how a lot of people just want to like belong to something.
a movement.
Yeah, movement. Like
Do it for
nobody
the culture.
like, yeah, right for the culture. It's like I'm like, yo, this is a joke. Like I'm kind of like I really like I don't know. Like, I probably traded in my black card, yo.
I mean, look, having
like
this conversation.
I would say I'm more of an African American than I am black. I say that. As crazy as it might sound, I know if I get pulled over by the police and I'm a black male, I know that I ain't stupid. But to me, like just this whole black thing, black this, black that, and if you're black, you gotta think this way or be like this, talk like that. I think a lot of it is just like it's like an oxymoron. It's contradiction. It's like, Black Lives Matter, but we still kill each other. And we don't even want to have a private conversation about that. I understand, like, look, you keep stuff in-house. Like, don't talk about your people in public and this, that, and the third. I get that. But like, we don't even want to have a private conversation about what's going on in our communities. Like, we don't want to politic our own communities, but we want to talk about like, get this guy to be president and he's gonna fix everything. Like, I'm like, we had a black president in Barack Obama. And we're still in the same situation. Like, nothing has changed. Things probably have gotten worse. So if that doesn't show you, like, you really got to do it yourself. Like, that's the beauty of I will say that's the beauty of the Republican Party. It's like, do it on your own. You know what I mean? Like, and I like it that way. I would prefer it that way. Yeah, you need government to help do certain things and stuff like that. Yeah, you do. But overall, it's like, to me, the Democratic Party, like, if I ain't mistaken, they gave us Planned Parenthood, they gave us food stamps, welfare. They the ones that separated the black family. Like, if you go down,
I said the Klansmen came out of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, in the Republican Party, it was a party that freed, the Emancipation Proclamation, if I'm correct. So it just make you kind of like, people just go with the flow. No one want to think for themselves. No one want to put in the work to do what has to be done. Like, it's
handouts.
That the greatest oxymoron to me was, voting for somebody. You're screaming Black Lives Matter, but let's go vote for the people that put, thousands and thousands of us in jail and separated families. So to me, that made absolutely no sense as a people if we really want to do something for the culture. And then, we have been voting for the Democratic Party for how long? And what has gotten done with us voting for Democrats? Like, honestly, y'all.
Nothing. Establishing the board. And thinking about what you just said, we're like, like that crime bill that Joe is so proud of, allegedly he said, oh, it was a mistake. It's like, that's a lot of life, a lot of families that's just devastated. But I'm like, to me, when I think about it, like you say, people want to scream Black Lives Matter, stop police brutality. Joe Biden, that bill created the condition and set laws in place that benefited like police immunities and like building of prisons. And it said like, it was like an incentive to go and arrest Black people, go and abuse Black people. And it's like, y'all want to overlook that. Like, this guy created the condition that that's manifested right now. And nobody want to like really just take note of that as if like, oh, he's a nice guy. Like, no, do you hear that guy talk? Like, if you listen to his speeches, like from back in the day, That's why when he was with Obama, it was like, yo, just don't say anything. Just be quiet. Put your sunglasses on. It's better to be thought wise than open your mouth and you know how it go. But
Oh
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I believe a lot of people are definitely doing it for the culture. I talked with another one of my coworkers, and so they were kind of mocking me a little bit because I voted for Trump, and so I said, guys, I have reasons. Like you should ask me why I voted for Trump instead of just saying, oh, you voted for Trump, oh, you're horrible. Then I asked them, why did you vote for Joe Biden? Oh, because I don't like Trump. Well, that's not a good reason to just vote for somebody. But I definitely did that with Obama. I voted for Obama just because he was black, right? I was doing it for the culture. But like just in the area, like for the church though, right? Like if we were to get to solution, I know for the church, like we know that the gospel, like this is the solution, I believe. The gospel changes man's hearts, right? Like we can put laws, race for it's big on police brutality and stuff like that, but that would not change their hearts, right? And so I believe definitely the gospel, the church needs to step it up with the presentation of the gospel going into these communities, right? And and that's one way that I show that Black Lives Matter. Like I never scream Black Lives Matter. I don't wear hats and because I don't have to advertise that Black Lives Matter. I know Black Lives Matter because they were created in the image of God, right? But just like somebody said, somebody countered a pro-life person. They said, okay, if you're against abortion, what are you doing to care for those like foster people or whatever? They're basically saying put your money where your mouth is, something like that. Like, okay, are you trying to adopt somebody? And that's a good protest, right? That's a good counter. And so in the area of Black Lives Matter, we should be involving ourselves in Black communities, right? Like in some kind of way, whatever your gifting is, right? Like to help people deliver them out of those situations. And so, I don't know if I changed the subject a little bit, but I was just really trying to get to a solution. One solution that I believe that whether we have a Democratic president or Republican, the church can still try to help the Black community.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, we definitely be on our job in regards to the Great Commission. I agree.
Yeah, that is a whole another thing right there. Because it's kind of like when I think of the Black church, and I hate to say the Black church, but all right,
the Black church.
the Black church. Like, yo, we're not, it's more of it has benefits, but overall, like I've seen so many churches in dilapidated communities, and I'm like, yo, did you just suck all the money and make the church fat and the community poor? Like, yo, what happened? Like, 'cause I would feel a little bit ashamed if I had this nice, pristine church in the ghetto. I would be like, dang, that's like a slap in the face. How is my church nicer than my community? It's an insult to your community. But yeah, that's a topic that I wish like we could gather like all the pastors and all the zip codes and just bring them all under one roof and like let the community talk to the pastors. And then like sit down and talk about solutions like, yo, how are we gonna get ourselves out of this? Like, we've done it before. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure we can do it again. But
yeah,
it'll be a nice thing to happen.
For sure.
Oh,
I'm
that
I'm for how I'm for a house. I'm for like house or like community, like small groups in the hood type thing. Like people coming off of their high positions, bishops, this or whatever. Like forget all that. Go into those communities. Go into those communities, and if you have the gifting of a shepherd, find one guy, right? One guy that you can pour into in the hood and disciple that one guy, and you never know, that could be the next Apostle Paul. He can turn that hood upside down, and that is one way we can redeem the hood, one soul at a time, or at least one that one guy can, leave the hood. I don't know. God may keep him there. I don't know, but that's just one way to redeem either an individual or individuals or just the whole neighborhood. Get one gangster off the street, and So I think yeah, politics, yeah, but the church, we have to do our job as well. Like, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what Biden or Trump is going to do next. I don't know, but I know we got a job.
Yeah. Yeah, the church job is to govern. Like that's what we're supposed to do. But we want to have separation between church and state. But I think like right, Sean, like what you're talking about is like that was the book of Acts. Like, yo, that's how they got down. It was like, yo, community based, like, yo, let's go to this person's house.
Yeah.
And I think we took on more of what Catholicism has brought to the table. And just like took on those practices.
Do you guys think that it's gonna go back to pre-COVID?
No. It would be nice.
I remember those days.
I say we probably get back once, like, some people get vaccinated. I think we'll probably get back like maybe 30% back to normal, or what normal was to us. But I don't think we'll go all the way back at all.
Are you guys getting vaccinated?
No, I am not. Yeah, it's so crazy because like I was reading like, yo, with the vaccines and all that, like they be using like fetal tissue from aborted babies. That is just like,
I won't be surprised.
Messed up. It's messed up, yo. It's messed up.
But I bet they tell you that Trump, started to defund them, and he the one actually looking for these missing children and everything. But I guess y'all ain't heard about that.
Trump's trying to find who?
Like, you notice a lot of missing children getting found these days.
Real talk. It is like human traffickers getting shut down. Like even like here in Georgia. It's like this is the biggest crackdown I've seen since I've ever lived here.
Wow.
Like, people care? Really?
But they want him out though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's all about what it looks like on the surface. It's like on the surface, Trump is very crass. He just blurt whatever he thinks. And it's like, I think like we've gotten to the point where professionalism has taken a stark turn. Like now I'm like, yo, y'all mad at Trump for speaking, saying whatever he want to say? Like, you do the same thing on social media. Like, you got business owners like cussing and marketing commercials and just cussing people out, like, this is the culture y'all creating. Like, why y'all mad?
Because the president is not supposed to do it, the president. But I will say this, we needed somebody like Neil was saying, that wasn't a politician, to actually show us what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that's what actually Trump did. He's somebody that's not like the politician or he's different, he's not a politician. So we needed him to expose, what was going on. So.
And so much is going on, y'all. That's the thing. Like I said, my eyes have been open a lot more to the whole human trafficking and the children trafficking and all that stuff lately. And I know that's a whole other subject, so we ain't gotta go into it right now. But at some point though, I don't have to go into it. But I mean, like I said, I mean, hearing that and also hearing about like how he's brokering like peace in the Middle East and all these different things, it's like y'all don't want to get a man nothing. Y'all don't want to get a man.
We haven't had a war in 4 years. I'm like, that's troops. That's like soldiers that's still alive that ain't gotta go kill nobody. That ain't gotta fight. Like we did not have a war for the first time. It feels like in 12 years or something.
I think that's just a part of our nature, right? As just broken people, like we always look at the negative. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be a great parent, like my parent, like me parenting my kids. Like you know, we can sacrifice for my kids, and they're just focused. Y'all don't never let us do nothing. Like what? Like you gonna bring that up? Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like. And age is nothing but a number, you know. Like, man, a lot of adults are just big kids. Like we just want everything our way. If it doesn't go out, I mean, America, we're spoiled. Like I guarantee you, a lot of people complaining about America. They go to another country, they'll be running right back. I guarantee they'll be running right. Them people that's so, oh, you know, Egypt, and all right, go to Egypt. You know. Go to Haiti, go. Just go over there for, you know, and then you'll come right back and appreciate the prosperity. Like we can do whatever we want to do. I'm not oppressed. I haven't met anybody who's oppressed. I just don't know who's oppressed. Like I can't really sympathize with something that I can try to force myself. Like, oh man, these people are oppressed. But man, I see a lot of Black entrepreneurs. You know, I see a lot of Black leadership, like in my job. I had a Black manager who's, you know, he's over white people. You know, I live like socially, I live better than a lot of white people in my area. You know, so it's like, and financially. So it's like, I just, you know, I can't really buy into that narrative. I had to really just try to bow down to the culture and dismiss all of the good that's happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're just spoiled, and, you know, that's just the result of America. Like we created us like this monster in us, like, and it's a part of our sinful nature as well. So it's like Trump could do 100 things right and one thing wrong. Oh, see, I told you.
Right. And it's so funny you brought that up too, because me and Denise was talking about that in the previous episode about like, I know 2020 is supposed to be so bad. It's supposed to be so bad, but I done seen so many houses being bought.
Exactly.
Businesses opening, cars, all kind of stuff.
Man.
Like, I've been taking care of this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we
Trump
ain't
is
been
an awesome racist. I love his racism.
Listen, because he's opening up everything for everybody. Like we were talking about, people able to get these loans and stuff now that, you know, Black people weren't able to get before. It's so many, and we're not even in the same place. We're in different areas, and you know, even where I'm from and people that I know and see, you know, everybody's starting businesses, and I'm absolutely loving it. You know, everybody's, you know, getting loans and, you know, growing their enterprise. So I mean, it's amazing. Like I'm seeing great things.
That platinum bill he trying to get going for this next go round. Y'all heard about that platinum plan or whatever?
Yeah, I heard.
Well, he was trying, you know.
Well, we'll see.
They say he took parts of it from Ice Cube's plan, but no, we don't want that. We don't want jobs and loans. We don't want that. We want somebody to rub our bellies at night. It'll be okay.
Man, let me get a piece of that doggone platinum plan and see what I can do with it right here. So let's get a building. Let me I learned a little bit more about the opportunity zone, so because I need a building for my business.
Yeah,
I mean, and great interest rates and everything. I mean, it was just great opportunities for everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people passed up on it too.
Because they were scared. They were saying then they were scared and getting upset with other people who was taking advantage of it. Well, why won't you take advantage of it?
Yeah.
You know? So
I'm like, it's 2028 teach you nothing. You better roll the dice on yourself. Like, yeah, like for real. There ain't nothing promised nowadays. Like, you better just go for it.
Hmm.
But
Period.
the issue I have is like the narrative of equality, right? Like, it's just so general. Like, what did it like? I think they got to get specific because, like, in reality, equality, like okay, let's say equality on a job. There's no such well. There's like if I labor more than you shouldn't make as much as I do, right? Like, so there isn't always going to be equality. Like, I believe they're saying like equality, like treated equally, but like I think like they have to be very specific, and also like the whole LGBTQ. Like I'm seeing a lot of LGBTQ stuff like in movies and all of that stuff, right? And I can't even really enjoy nothing because I'm seeing, some flamboyant boys, and I got a 4-year-old son, and so I'm like, I can't rock with that. Like, no, and so it's like, they're pushing that so heavy, and it's like, when do we draw the line? Like, in a minute, I'm gonna be able to, well, not me, but people will be able to marry anything, anyone. Like, we have to draw the line. Like, it's okay to draw the line,
Rashawn, I heard this. This goes with what you just said. I heard this. There's a fine line between diversity and perversion. So that goes like directly with what you're saying. Where is the line drawn? Because those people will have to have their rights as well. And that's the thing about pushing those limits and the different equality and perversions. The line is going to continue to keep moving.
Yeah, started now because of my what rights do you not have? I looked it up. I was like, what rights do they not have at this point? And what I saw was the right to jobs that deal with us in regards to Christians. They want to be able to work at the Christian college. And I guess someone was trying to argue about the right. I guess they were working at a funeral home and they decided to become the opposite sex and that type of thing, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, why you want to work at the Christian school? Like, what you talk about ain't with what they talking about. Like, so you don't want more rights, you want to take my right. You know what I mean? And that's what you really want. Why? No, we might even end this thing right now. They're gonna like shut down. God says love it.
Yo, I'm left-handed, right? I'm left-handed. It's more left-handed people than there are homosexual people. But like, how do they get to have such a loud voice? Like, and don't get me wrong, like, it's like the whole LGBTQ thing, like, it's like a headless monster. It's like there's no like, well, who's the head of the LGBTQ? To me, that's like one of the most dangerous movements when you can't point out the leader somewhere.
Yeah.
So it just kind of made me wonder, like, yo, so how is it that they're running a lot of stuff? Like, it's and even I don't know, like it's a sensitive topic because I personally, like, yo, I don't care. I don't have a problem with somebody being gay or anything. Like I personally don't judge on the strength, like, oh man, you're gay, you're going to hell, and you're this and you're that. But I've seen like so many other people just be like, adulterous and like killers, all kind of stuff. My thing is like how you were saying, right, Sean, like it do appear to be like an agenda to where it's like, yo, we're gonna put this on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've noticed, like, for me, like, just watching TV and movies and stuff like that, the black male is usually gay. And I'm like,
Can we just pinpoint? Can we just pinpoint right there, please? That's it. That's it.
that's my problem. Like, yo, can we just be a man for, like, to me, black males haven't been able to just be a stand-up male in the media, like in movies and cinema and stuff like that. Like, it's always some kind of caveat with it. Like, I remember, like, somebody was saying, like, yo, I was watching The Watchmen, and they was like, yo, the guy was kicking butt, but then he was like, he was gay though. I'm like, why are you gonna be gay? Why you just can't be a dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? In like Lovecraft Country, it's like, yo, yeah, this is that going on, but it's that gay. And it's just like, you can't say anything. If you say anything, you're automatically homophobic. It's like, dang, I can't even have an opinion. I can't like make a statement and like, yo, we have like some kind of conversation about it. Like, we put it all on the table and you hear my view, I hear yours, this, that, and the third. It's like, yo, you're homophobic and you're canceled. You can't say anything. Like, that's not equality, and that's not equity. Like, yo, and it's not fair either. It's not right. It's not just. Like, people should be able to have a conversation and say, like, hey, look, I disagree with homosexuality. Like, you should be able to say that, and that doesn't mean that I don't want them to be beat up or killed or them not to have jobs or nothing. That don't mean like they can't be a manager or my manager or nothing like that. It's just saying like, hey, look, I don't agree with two men having sex with each other because I don't understand it. One, and it's like, it's just, to me, it's not. It doesn't create. I disagree with just about anything that doesn't bring forth life, for the most part. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't procreate with it. And it's not to say that, like, hey, look, I got a problem with you. Like, I know a lot of gay people. I come across gay people all the time. It is nothing personal. It's just like, hey, look, why is this agenda being pushed? Like, to me, that's the bigger issue. You know what I'm saying?
Because anything against what God's word say is being pushed. That's what's on the alternative. I keep saying the alternative. We already established his Bible, but guess what? One of his type priorities is first 100 days. Y'all heard about that?
Yes, we did. You can't miss it.
Wait, what was the immigration, or he got something with the LGBTQ or something?
That
How
right
you
there.
think?
First 100 days, top priority.
That's the top.
One of the top priorities.
And you cannot tell me that, yo, you can't tell me that everything is fixed, yo. You just can't tell me that. Because, like, what more can you do for them? Like, they're not the ones populating the prisons. They're not the ones dealing with police brutality. Like, they're not the ones that's disenfranchised. Like what else? And they're like this percentage. And my thing is like, yo, I'm black all day, every day to the day I die.
Can't change it.
You can't change it. You can be gay one day, and you can be straight the next. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can hide it. Because it's like, yo, it's at the end of the day, homosexuality is about who you choose to have. And that's none of my business.
You were born that way.
Yes, but you can choose your gender. I'm gonna go. Y'all ain't finna look.
Wait, so you could? I'm like, yo, how can you choose your gender? Yo, don't get me started, Miracle. You know, like, yo, you can't choose gender.
That's what they tell it. That's
like,
what
if
that's
you're born with a sexual organ, like, it's a sexual organ for a reason. Like, that's just what you are. Like, yo, if you're born and like, you can't talk about, oh, what about a hermaphrodite? That's such a minute percentage. Like, yo, if you're born with your organs, you're not just born with, like, you know, like, if you're a woman, you're born with a vagina. If you're a male, you're born with a penis. Like, you got all kind of things that come with that genetic makeup too. Like, that means, like, yo, if you're a woman, you have ovaries. I don't have ovaries. Like, you can change the surface and all that. You can change all that, but you still gonna have them ovaries though. Like, I don't know how you getting them out. all the hormones you want. So I'm like, and you can't argue self-love either. That can't be your argument. Oh, I'm just loving myself. This is my real self. Because your real self is like what you're born as. You need to learn to love that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't try to change and deface that. And anyway, but to me, I'm like, just what you were born.
The reason why this is a subject right now, and the reason why this is political is because it's become political. It's been
It is.
Laws are actively being changed, that affects. And honestly, a lot deals with the children, which is why I brought it up. Because I'm sitting here like, I mean, well, did y'all watch the town hall? Or was I the only one that watched both of the town halls?
I didn't see it.
Nobody watched. Y'all didn't watch the town hall neither?
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, yes, I watched it.
Okay. Well, so it's cool for the 8-year-old transgender then. You saw.
Yeah, to change their gender. Yeah, I saw that.
That's
You
cool.
ain't even developed yet.
Oh no, that's cool. And honestly, if the parent don't agree, they should be able to go ahead and do it without your consent. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what Joe Biden stated.
It's political. That's why this is political right now. And that's why, again, when it comes to these votes, that's why it's so important, like who you supporting and who you going for. Man, listen, hold on. Why we going to the, they be like, look, we cannot put that on the network. I don't know.
So I would say like get when like I'm like Neil, like I'm cool with gay people. I don't have like I definitely don't think gay people should be treated unfairly, but there definitely need to be some lines. Like it just has to be lines. Like even in heterosexual relationship, you have to draw a line, or being a heterosexual, there has to be lines, right? So it's like it's like, man, you just give them an inch, or give somebody an inch, and it just goes further. And it's like now it's affecting the kids and even being taught in the schools, like, and it's just like, dang, like, hold up, man, like, wait a minute, like, okay, you want to get married, cool, get married, cool, but dang, you trying to take over, like, what? Wait a minute.
I can definitely say the line, and this is my little humble opinion. I feel like the line should be kids. Like kids and sex should not even be in the same conversation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Let's keep
But
kids.
that's their agenda. Miracle.
But that's their agenda.
That's their agenda. Let's not, act like we don't know what their agenda is. The agenda is to obviously get the children. So if I get the children and I desensitize them through the television and through all the shows, you even have to, as a Christian parent, we even have to watch the cartoons. I watch the cartoons with my son to make sure, because they're now coming through the cartoons, through the music, sex, all of these, and these are, as us being Christians, we deal with the spiritual realm, and these are, let's just call it what it is. So, you, like you said, we have to draw the line at the children, but then what's next? They're going to be, the people who sleep with animals are going to want their rights. The pedophiles are trying to get rights as well. They're starting that already in California. So, yeah.
Yep.
We have to prepare as Christians, y'all. It's coming.
Man.
Look, all this right, Rashawn's spot right here, bringing that up, man. Doggone Rashawn.
Like he did. Man.
Hey, I because it just happened yesterday, or day before yesterday. I'm trying, like we like crime, like we like SVU, and man, the two flamboyant individuals popped up, and it just grieved me. Like I'm like, man, no, we gotta take this out. Like we gotta turn this off. I can't do it. So but Neil is right though. Like there is also adultery and all of that stuff going on in those shows as well. And I'm grieved about that stuff too. Like if I see two people who are having sex and they're married, I'm like, I'm grieved, but but yeah.
Bring it all back though. The laws. You know what I'm saying? Again, the reason why this is a subject right now is because of the laws that are being put in place right now. And again, I love everybody. I ain't gonna treat you no different no matter what you're doing. I just say, hey, let's keep kids out. You know what I mean? That's my own humble opinion. Let's keep kids out of that conversation and pay attention to these laws and the things that people are like. Man, I did a whole juice about that. Like, people are, like you said too, Rashana, just keep agreeing with you. But at the end of the day, it's like people are more concerned about what people are saying versus paying attention to what people are doing. And then honestly, some of them are actually just straight out saying, like we already said, first 100 days, this top priority, you know. They're literally saying it. So so at that point, it's like, if a Christian follows that or goes with that, it's like you don't care, or you're not paying attention. You just lost. Like, I don't know how else to.
Yeah, you sleep. You are asleep. Like, yeah, like the kids is the line though. Because California, like they passed, then I think they passed a law, or they were trying to, like, some proposition, something to where it's like, if a kid happens to be like a teenager and has a relationship with an adult, like the adult can't be charged, and it's something weird.
Right.
I can't remember.
Something,
But
No,
it's like 10 years or something like that is the gap, or something like that.
that's Camilla's homeboy. She endorsed him.
wait, who is this?
But
The
Who is
government.
the
the gentleman that you're talking about,
Wow.
yep, the gentleman that you're talking about in California that passed that law, that is Camilla's homeboy. She endorsed him. So they got plenty of pictures and everything together. She's, they're taking pictures and they're buddies. So we like y'all said, we have to know who we're endorsing as Christians. We can't be, caught up in the facade of, racism and all of this stuff. We need to make sure, that we're on the side of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that trumps everything. Yeah, because you can't, like, a lot of people, it's like, oh my gosh, she black, the first black woman, this. Who cares? Like, I I feel like sometimes black people are content with just having a black face in a white place. And it's like, hey, that's good enough for you. Like, that's all you don't want to ask for anything else or demand anything else. Like, oh, as long as we see a black person in there, we're good. We're cool. But
I pulled it up for you all just so we can, look, fact check. And that's a whole nother subject as well. How about all this fact checking that's going on? How y'all feel about that? We can talk about it. Anyway, it's called SB number 145. It says this bill would exempt from mandatory registration under the act a person convicted of certain offenses involving minors if the person is not more than 10 years older than the minor, and if that offense is the only one requiring the person to register. So they're saying most people in that situation would have to they would have to register mandatory, but if it's their only offense and they're not within 10 years of that person, they don't have to register. And so that's like a 20-year-old and a 10-year. Is that?
that is insane. Like, that's insane.
Ain't it?
Why would you even conjure that up? Period. Like, why?
Maybe because all these rings is getting found and getting busted. Oh, I'm back to the children rings, y'all. I'm sorry, but like I said, I mean, I've been more exposed to it over the past 2 weeks, so I'm sitting here like,
Did you see where
it concerns me.
Did you see where a lot of CEOs stepped down? Speaking of the rings, did you see where a lot of CEOs were stepping down from that? But that gentleman, you could look that up as well. He's a part of the LGBTQ community. The guy who is over that.
It's over that. His name is not here.
I knew it, a while ago because I was doing some research myself. Uh, the gentleman who's was over that, he who got that passed, he is a part of the LBGT community. So
Mm. And that's the thing. It's like people. That's the whole thing. It's like getting into these certain positions so they can do things like this. That's why I think I told you guys last time. I definitely was trying to be more informed about who I was voting for and who I wanted to vote for, especially when it came to the rest of not just the president, but all of the positions. Because like I told you guys years before, I would go in thinking about the president and then forget about oh man, I don't even know who the rest of these names are. So at least this go around, I went and looked up each person, went on their website, saw what they had to say, stuff like that. I think we all should do that. Like, if you go to vote, be informed about who's on the, who's voting for.
About. Yep.
For sure.
Man.
For sure.
So, look, okay, well, with that being said, y'all, what's y'all's final thoughts? So many things. Let's y'all want to. What was that I said we could talk about? I forgot now. I forgot what it was. Huh?
You said, I think you brought up fact checking.
Oh, how only certain sides being fact checked.
Mm-hmm. And that's on social media. That's like on Twitter and
YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Instagram too.
I mean, I believe. I still kind of believe Trump is gonna win. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a prophet, but I really believe like it's gonna. I still believe Trump is gonna win. Not because of probably because of the prophet. I don't know. I still just believe he's gonna win. I think it's just gonna be going to be a setup to bring in the New World Order. I think people are going to go crazy. Like when he does win, if he wins, people are going to go crazy, like crazy. Because they already have this energy built up that he lost. So they're just going to go from excited, celebrating it. That energy is going to go towards looting, and it's going to be crazy. So I believe that's definitely going to be like just the start of just a fast decline in America. And if Trump wins after those 4 years, I believe we're in the last hour. I don't know how big you guys are in about like end time prophecy or whatever, but I believe we're in the last hour. I believe the Lord Jesus is going to come in our lifetime. And I believe, we're going to definitely be around when the mark of the beast and just because the technology is here. It's not coincidence for me. It's like everything is just in place to just go ahead and do it. So yeah, like Neil said, I think this is just a setup, like to get people to go crazy, like go bananas. I'm glad I live in the country. I don't know where you guys. I don't know if you live in the urban area in the city. I live with country folks who got rifles, and they actually got Trump. They got Trump signs. I live in Trump's country right now, so I'm kind of safe. Like I'm kind of safe. I just fear for the Trump supporters in like Atlanta, in DC, and in Biden's country. I fear for those people. So grab your anointed oil and grab your pistols. It's going down if Trump win.
Man, I believe what you said though. Like I think we are. It's like I think we in that time frame. I was kind of hoping we weren't, but because I'm like I just don't feel like dealing with it. Like man, I'm tired, man. Mark to the beast, and no, I just don't want to deal with it. Like I don't feel like getting guns, and I don't want to shoot nobody. Like I'm not violent. Like this is too much. It's just I ain't with it. But Ah, but I do agree with you though.
I, man, look. On one hand, it's like either way, right? Either way seems a little bit messed up, right? Because if a winner wins, riots, looting, burning, all that, right? But if you don't win, we got the first 100 days in the agenda and all the days, you know what I mean? So it's like, but then also, like I said, we got those prophecies and all, and then, I feel like, and that's, I don't know, I feel like God wouldn't allow all his prophets or mouthpieces to be shamed in that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, I see more like, again, more of a, like you were saying, this is all kind of setting it up in a way where people can really see, and God be like, and I said this, and then now that might not be good, depending on how you're looking at it. But yeah, man.
Yeah, it's going down. It's going down.
Going down, man. What you got, Miss Denise? What you got for us? What you got?
I'm agreeing with you guys. I think because of the Lord's prophets that said that Trump was going to win, I do believe that he's going to win. And I, honestly, I would hope he win, because Trump winning would be grace for us. So which is why God was doing that, grace for us to push back the end times, as Mr. Rashawn and them was saying. I do believe that we are in those times now. So, not to be in fear and anxiety, and don't allow the media to bring division between you and other people. Remember to keep that focus on Jesus Christ, and to be in love, to walk in love, to be in love, to repent daily, and to live righteously. And then you won't have nothing to worry about. Prepare. I would honestly, I have already started, prepare on getting things in order for your family, food and things of that nature. It's time to prepare. We have to get our eyes off all of that stuff. Things could go either way, regardless of who's in office, but you want to be prepared and be able to feed your family if things get to those levels. So, just repent and, stay connected with God, stay in your word, and love on somebody. We can't allow the media to bring in the division between us on who you voted for and all of these things. We're all God's children, and that's what it's about, his kingdom. So
Amen. Well, that's good. That's a wrap, right? I think that's a wrap right there. Thank you all so much for joining the conversation, each one of y'all, man. Appreciate you.